Syngap land. My name is Michael Graglia. This is Friday, September 10th. We're on episode 26 of Syngap 10. Lot to talk about today. All of it good. Best thing ever, I got an email yesterday. I was literally just dancing here in the office. I'm going to read it to you. It's been anonymized. I just went through it and scrubbed it. But it really made my day, and I want to share it with you. Hi, Mike. My name is X, and I live in Y. My child Z was born in 2000, and for the first 20 years of his life, every test, every scan, etc., could not explain why he was nonverbal, apraxic, some features of autism, intellectually disabled. It was not until 2020, as the country shut down, that I received a call from Z's doctor with the results of their second DNA sequencing, and he was diagnosed with Syngap 1. 2020, this was last year. That day haunts me, as to be honest, I had shut the door on ever knowing what was wrong with Z. I had been on an island with him for so very long, and the timing of his diagnosis made it impossible to reach out until now. I have been listening to you, listening to the podcast, following SRF on Facebook, and would very much like to be involved, ... More importantly, I want to meet other families and be off this island. Awesome email. And I'll tell you why. A couple things. One, this is lonely work. If you've listened to the 12 Commandments podcast I did with Effie Parks, I talk about being a lighthouse. Like, this work is like being a lighthouse. I'm just in the lighthouse. I'm sending out messages. I'm trying to find ships and connect industry and researchers and families. But sometimes you're in the lighthouse. You're like, does anybody care? Does anybody even see this light? And when you get an email like this and you know that someone has been sitting there processing a Syngap diagnosis after raising a loved one for 20 years of not knowing what's wrong, and that this was sort of a link for them, awesome, number one. Number two, it really underscores a point I've made countless times, which is there is a massive undiagnosed community. Most of the kids we get who are diagnosed are 3, 4, 5, 6, because they're at major medical centers and someone's done genetic testing. But there are thousands of other patients in the US, just like Z, of course I've changed the name and removed the location, all that stuff, privacy, who hadn't been diagnosed until recently. And that wave is coming, and there's a lot of them. And if you think about everything you went through, parents, when your 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 10, whatever, single-digit-year-old was diagnosed with Syngap 1, you had to reprocess their life. Imagine having to do all of that after having spent 20 years in the dark. And as this beautiful email says, if you'd already shut the door on knowing what was wrong. There was a discussion I had this conversation with Jo Ashline, who's one of our volunteers. Amazing writer in LA. I think she's going to start her own podcast, which is going to be hilarious, by the way. She's a funny woman. And Jo and I did an interview. We were just talking, and I was like, Jo, we should be having this conversation online. So we did a little webinar. The whole webinar is on our website. The whole transcript, if you want to check it out, it's syngap.fund/lens, LENS, syngap.fund/lens. And it's just Jo and I talking about, okay, you were an autism mom, you had this kid, and suddenly as a teenager they were diagnosed, and your whole world changed. And what was that like? And I think that this mom and Jo probably have some things in common. And once I get back in touch with this mom, I'm going to connect them. So the person who wrote that email, I hope you're listening. Thank you so much. Made my day. Everybody, if you want to learn more about this idea of getting diagnosed when you're 20, check out syngap.fund/lens. So that's just great news I wanted to share to start with. But let me tell you, I got more. Today's a big day. First principles. Why are we here? Why does SRF exist? Why did I quit my job? Why do I do this all day, every day? What's going on? First principles. We are here because we want to change the future for our kids, and we want to help each other. That's it. Basic. SRF exists because there are children with Syngap, and their future is not pretty until we do something about it, number one. Number two, there's a lot of families suffering with a broken system and healthcare and insurance and all this insanity and very sick children. And we need each other, right? We're all in this together, even if a few people just don't get that. But let's talk about changing the future for our kids. This work is inherently future changing, right? We are here because the present's not acceptable and we need to make the future better. So it's pretty exciting when you see the future coming together. It's pretty exciting when you see the future coming together. And on Tuesday, I had a long list of things to do, and I sat down at my desk and I opened my computer and it said Invitae and Ciitizen are merging. And I was like, there goes my day. There goes my day. And it did. It went up in smoke. It's the best news ever because it's the future happening. The future is happening. So let's talk about what Invitae and Ciitizen merging means. It's huge and it's great news. A lot of people have called me this week and been like, Mike, is this good news? I'm like, this is amazing news, right? So let's review. Invitae, one of the biggest genetic testing companies on earth, led by a really charismatic CEO, really patient-focused, smart. They're playing the long game. Ashley and I have had the privilege of talking to a number of their senior leaders here in San Francisco and sort of thinking with them and asking them questions, and they're good people. That company is run by good people, and they're doing smart things. They're going to be around for a while. Invitae, genetic testing. Many of our families have been diagnosed by Invitae. Ciitizen, don't worry, I'm not going to give you the whole speech. Medical records, pulling out data, free for patients, everyone should sign up. But let's use the language of the medical community here. Genotype, what's happening in your genetics. Phenotype, how does it present? Genopheno, as the insiders refer to it with their cool little languages, is $1 million question. Are there dots that we haven't connected between this specific mutation and the way it presents, between the genotype and the phenotype? Invitae and Ciitizen together. That's amazing. Now, there's a bunch of like, what about this and what about this? And is my data still safe? Yes, your data is still safe. You've got a great company and a great company coming together, and they both care about patient first. I have close friends and SRF board member or employees of Ciitizen. I've talked to them about this, and one of the reasons they were so enamored when Invitae approached them is they both care about patient-centric data. So everything that was true about Ciitizen before is still true, except now they've got more resources, more vision, not more vision, because Neil's vision was already through the roof, but more opportunity to take advantage of this data for the benefit of patients. So if you're asking me, well, Mike, what's going on with this merger? It's all good news. There is an incredible Ciitizen FAQ that they put out with the announcement email. It's worth reading every word on that page. It was really well done. Syngap.fund/Ciitizen FAQ. I'll put the link in the show notes. So the first thing I want to talk about is the email. I got amazing, and that lens interview I did with Joe. Check it out. Second thing, first principles. We're here to be together. We're here to help each other. We're here to change the future, and the future's coming. And you can see the future coming when Invitae and Ciitizen come together. That is incredible news. Those are two exceptional companies, and I am thrilled about it. But on this theme of building the future, I'm probably going to go over, and you have to deal with it this week. There's a lot going on. There are two things coming up that are awesome. So Syngap.fund/cball, letter C, ball, for Cannonball. That's in 25 days. So one of our families, Brett and Sydney, are amazing, and they do a fundraiser every year with Brett's YouTube following because he's a tech podcaster, UFD Tech. You should check it out. And Brett and two other Syngap dads are going to drive from New York to LA in a Tesla, nonstop, 60 hours-ish. And you like the sound effects. And they're going to live stream the whole thing, and they're going to raise money for something that we're going to announce next week. Incredible. What vision, what leadership, what fun. Brett is a funny guy. The other two dads in the car are funny guys. We have a little WhatsApp discussion about all the planning. I was just laughing yesterday. So this is going to be good, folks. October 6th to 8th. Block out your calendars. Open up your live stream, your YouTube, your Twitch, or whatever you live stream on. It's going to be exceptional. Syngap.fund/Cannonball/cball, and the link's in the show notes. And then the other thing, in 43 days, but you only have 19 days left to get tickets. If you're in New York or New Jersey, we're having a gala. Nancy Kessler, who's on our board, and is Karen's sister and guardian, is throwing a gala, the first annual Karen Leib Gala. It's going to be awesome. There's a lot of planning. I tell you, people are working on this one. Syngap.fund/gala, 43 days, 19 days left to buy your tickets. Get on that, people. It's going to be good. No, I might not go over. And I want to end with one more thing. Syngap.fund/CTR. As always, we are raising for specific projects that have been thought about, designed, and will improve the future for our kids. And the current one is Syngap.fund/clinical trial readiness. Syngap.fund/CTR. If you have not done a fundraiser for that, do a fundraiser for that. We need all the help we can get. It's going to get done. And I'm going to end with a teaser. I didn't have time to get to these things. Next week, two things are going to be public, and they're big. They're big. It's good news next week. So buckle up for next week. I'll be talking about 2 awesome announcements. Thank you for listening. Hey, 10 minutes. Look at that. Have a wonderful week. Bye.